Do you think young adults in America consume enough news?
I don't. I think they consume news, but biased news. I think either it's like Fox News or CNN, but it's never like straight shooting news. It's always never just the news. It's always swayed, and that tends to happen whenever someone delivers something. They always aren't totally unbiased with everything.
Here I am, a 22-year-old, about to go perform my civic duty and vote, but not knowing who or what I was voting for. Didn't know too many of the issues, didn't really know what was going on overall.
I mean, that's why we have elections, and I feel like because people don't make that connection with watching the news and seeing what's going on in politics, they really don't. A lot of students and a lot of people our age don't really know kind of what direction we're heading in.
Technology and rights and freedom of speech, I think.
World news. What's going on in other countries?
I think right now we have to just focus on politics and healthcare and job opportunities and job market, and just making sure that focus like on our country, and not to say don't focus on the outside countries, but we want to help others. We have to fix ourselves first.
Do you think it's possible to be well informed about those issues if you don't watch the news or read newspapers?
I think it is. It's just you're not going to be as informed as you could be.
I think people these days they see one thing and then they assume that's fact, or they assume that's what the right answer is, and just go off of that rather than taking their time to research a lot of different sides of issues or sides of a story. And they just, well, I know about this because I read it somewhere here. Well, did you read the other side of it? So I don't think you have to read a lot of different things before you can actually have a basis of fact or a basis of a true opinion on something.
If you know there's an election coming up, but you really don't know anything about the opponents, you can just go online and research them, which isn't necessarily going through the news, but you're still getting the same information. But it's easier, more convenient, and it's on more frequent on like newspapers and TV shows.
I think there's many different organizations that throw out information for different people, but it could be biased information. Just like in the news, that information can still be a little biased. You just kind of take everything with a little grain of salt.
What do you think big news agencies could do to increase the amount that young adults watch the news?
I don't really know what they can do at this point other than probably reach out to programs and channels such as like VH1, MTV, E! News, and then incorporating it with commercials almost, like giving tidbits here and there when they can. But I think the more you try to push something down like our generation's throat, the more likely we are to reject it.
I know a lot of tech things are going on the web now. Everything is, you can usually get most newspaper subscriptions online. I think that might help, but having news updates not about celebrities, not shying away from who's having an affair with who into more like what's going on in other countries. I feel that there's so much saturation of Lindsay Lohan did this, or Paris Hilton did this, or this or that, or this or that, and I think the focus should stray away from that. And at first that might be a backlash of not enough interest, but if that's the only thing that's out there, then people will start listening.
I know I personally didn't watch the news for a long time because all that was ever in the news was negative, like fillers of like crimes or like misdemeanors or like stuff that I didn't really care about. I know there's always not a lot of like groundbreaking news or stuff that our generation might necessarily care about all the time, so they have to fill it in with something. But I think if they changed it so the news was a little more positive, more people would read the papers and watch the news on TV.
With the way that people work every day, I have 2-3 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. Right now I have 2 jobs, and I'm barely getting by. I don't get out of work until like almost midnight sometimes. It'd be nice if there was news available on TV, or if I don't even have TV, so I have to go to the library to use the internet. But there's other people who go home, watch TV. Maybe if the news is available at later times, or if they maybe change their tactics of how to get the points across, and made things more like The Daily Show. Maybe they could learn something to get news across.
Do you think any steps like those are likely to be taken or are being taken right now?
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't really seen any, but I'd like to think that we're working towards it.
I think, and I'll even admit it, we, as humans, we thrive off the thought of celebrity. And in this day and age where it's all, everyone's connected by the web, by their phone, by everything, there's no real privacy anymore. So people live vicariously through the people they put on podiums. So it's really hard to separate those kind of issues with real issues like natural disasters or political schemes and things like that.
Considering that we are the future leaders of America, how important do you think it is that we are aware of political, economic, and international issues?
I think it's really important because that's what's gonna set us up for our future. Like, if we don't know what's going on, then how can we grow up? We just can't walk the streets and be like, okay.
We're the ones who are currently learning how to, be successful in whatever field that we go into. And if we're not well informed about who we're voting for in elections, or like what our current economic standing is, based on year to year and based on president to president, we're not going to really know what we can do in the future if we don't know what we're voting for.
As I know, like a college kid, you focus on your studies, you focus on this. You're not focusing on a wide range of things. And I know some students definitely are, but I feel the majority of us have our own little lives and we need to step out of that.
I wish more people read. One day we're going to be illiterate and we're just going to be pressing buttons because we know those buttons. We're just going to have like a Simon board in front of us, and we'll make keys, sounds, and stuff, and then everything will come to us and we'll be fed by robots. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but I hope it doesn't, and I hope we maintain our knowledge.